So hello everyone,
Hello,
welcome to the new day and new vlog. Today we have with us our beloved Muntasir. How are you, Muntasir?
I am fine.
And today's topic for the video is regarding part-time job in Germany, and I would say specifically
For
about
software.
the software job experience of Muntasir because he is doing in one of the companies in Kaiserslautern.
Correct.
We have made a video regarding how to find part-time jobs in Germany. You can watch that videos as well. I think we talked about the various categories.
Categories.
Correct. Like which categories are there, on what type of jobs you can find,
Correct.
and including some of the restaurant jobs, some of the software jobs, some of the jobs in the university. But we thought since Muntasir is doing in one of the software companies software job, so we'll talk about it. So Muntasir, if we start that, how can one find software job?
The first process is you need to have a CV
Yeah.
as well as a cover letter.
Yeah.
So those are the two requirements
Yeah.
that if you are to apply a job for anywhere,
Yeah.
you do need to do that.
Yeah.
And the platform that you can apply is some common platform.
Yeah.
That is for software engineering. You can go to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
That is a quite common platform.
Yeah.
Then you can go to Zing.
Yeah.
That is quite uncommon to our territory.
Yeah.
But there is also one popular. That is a Stepstone.
Yeah. Why you say it's quite unpopular?
Because for the Zing, I would say everything is German.
Yeah.
And we are not very familiar with using Zing.
Okay.
LinkedIn is very popular in our Asian region.
Yeah.
So we are already aware of that.
Yeah.
But for LinkedIn, for Zing or Stepstone, it is quite new to us.
Okay.
But once you get Google translated the website and you can start using it,
Yeah.
then you will find it's quite useful.
So which apps did you use to find a software job? Yeah.
I would say I looked into LinkedIn as well as Stepstone.
Yeah.
And there is another options
Yeah.
that you may have watched in our other videos. That
Yeah.
is contact fair or job company
Okay.
fair.
Yeah.
So that's another options.
Yeah.
So I think if you visit the university regularly, you will see that in every 6 months or 1 year,
Yeah.
there will be companies that come to our university,
Yeah.
and they also offer sometimes there are some stalls that
Yeah.
you can visit them and ask about them.
About the job opportunities.
Correct.
So if I ask, like we are talking that it's a software job, what kind of software job it is? If we,
So for me, it's actually standard software job. So
Yeah.
my stack is Java
Yeah.
and React.js. But
Okay.
there is other option as well.
Yeah.
C# is popular, C++ is popular.
Yeah.
There are quite some technologies in Node.js as well popular.
yeah. So this is a backend development job or a full stack development job for
I
you?
would say it's a full stack. Full stack. Initially, I was focused on backend.
Yeah.
But then they asked for full stack as well.
Okay.
So I was also interested to learn front end as well as back end.
Yeah.
So I thought I can do it as well.
Okay. So now, as you mentioned about the applications, so through which application did you find this job?
Well, my scenario is a little bit uncommon.
Okay.
Because for me, I applied for LinkedIn and Stepstone for quite some time, but I
Yeah.
couldn't get much response.
Yeah.
But there was some company fair, or I would say there are some event
Yeah.
from the university
Yeah.
that if I register to them, they will take us to various companies
Yeah.
directly, and
Yeah.
I can talk to them directly.
Yeah.
So I attended the seminar, and from the university they took us to many company, and one of the company was the company that I'm currently working on.
Okay.
So then I went there, I attended the seminar, and they explained their product, they explained their target, and they also said that they are looking for employees or
Yeah.
as especially
Yeah.
working students.
Yeah.
So then I took their email ID and mailed my CV to them
Yeah.
via email.
Yeah.
So that's another option, that you can directly check the company's website
Yeah.
and mail the authority directly with your CV and resume.
Okay. So you contacted maybe via company fair, like you said.
That's true. That's true.
And then you directly mailed them your application.
Correct.
Okay. So, this.
directly I mailed the HR department
Yeah.
about my CV and cover letter.
Okay. And if I ask, then how much time does it took you to find this job?
So I would say I started almost about 3 to 4 months ago, and
Yeah.
then I came upon this opportunity, and then I got the job.
Okay, so now we'll move forward and we'll move to another point that you mentioned the time period, which is
3 to 4 months, I would say, but it can depend.
Yeah.
It can vary. So for me it was the case, but if just suppose the company fair is not happening for another 6 months,
Yeah.
then it can happen that I am still searching for another 6 months.
on different platforms.
So I
like
would
you
not say that within 6 months you will get a job.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Sometimes people get it within 1 week,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
sometimes they're still searching for 6 to 8 months, and
Yeah.
still it is
Yeah.
you are looking for
Yeah.
a job, and there is no like good opportunities.
Correct. So I think it also depends on your scenario.
That's
Like
true.
if you're searching on a job fair, if you're searching on various platforms, or even if you're searching for a student job at university, because there are some options. We have discussed about that, I think, in detail, and gave the overview regarding, like, you can see the males enrolled mail, or you can, you know, search for the heavy jobs as well. So I think we'll come down to those experiences as well, but today's topic is about his software job.
Software engineer job.
Now, Muntasir,
And about this topic, when I was actually searching for a job,
Yeah.
I realized one point,
Yeah.
that German skill is very necessary.
okay,
There was a lot of job in LinkedIn, in Stepstone, in Zing,
Yeah.
that I was being cut off. I was not applying
Yeah.
because they require German.
okay,
So it is always good if you are learning German, or you have some C1, B2 or B1 level German at least,
Yeah.
so they can you can initially approach them.
yeah,
And then also there is the company's language is English,
Yeah.
then it's good for you. If it is German, then you need to communicate with German.
No,
so,
so-
I would say the language skills is necessary.
correct. I think that is also important, because when we went to the company fair, they also said that we need some German skills.
That's
But when
true.
you applied, did you, like, how much German skill you had, or you had to submit some proof for that?
Not actually. They are usually, I mentioned in my CV that A2 or at that time I was doing A2,
Yeah.
so I mentioned them. And usually no one asks for your German certificates.
Yeah.
They usually try to talk with you in German.
In German.
And if you can talk with them, it doesn't matter if you don't have any official certificate.
Yeah, correct.
that's the crucial
so if you
point.
can speak German, then they will get to know how much German you know,
That's
and
true.
I think that is also important. Now, talking about the documents, like you said, you submitted cover letter, you submitted the CV. What other documents did they ask you to send, or like your transcript or not? And
Before getting the job, there was no any other documents, only CV and cover letter.
in English?
Just in
Okay,
English.
yeah.
And but after once they confirmed me that okay, you got the job, then
Yeah.
they asked a couple of documents like my health insurance certificate.
Okay.
They didn't ask my transcript, but my matriculation certificate that I have enrolled in
In a
this
university.
semester,
So you can do
as
the-
so I can confirm that I am a student.
Yeah.
So those are the main documents I would
and
say.
and then only you can do the working student job.
Correct.
So now, coming, like, you gave the overview about how you applied, what documents you sent. Now, once you got the job, like, did you receive any contract or something? For how
Yes.
much time period was it?
Yeah, actually, it depends. The contract time depends on company to company.
Yeah.
So my company is kind of a startup.
Yeah.
So they have actually gave me an initial 3-month contract.
Okay.
And by giving me the contract, they told that read the contract. It was in German.
Yeah.
So they said that read the contract.
Yeah.
And if it is like if you are okay with it, then
Yeah.
sign it and let us know.
Okay, so it
I translated it. I read it contract totally, and then
Yeah.
it was a 3-month contract with everything mentioned that
Yeah.
how many hours I need to do.
So how many hours was it?
So usually, initially my hours was per week. As a student, we can do 20
20
hours, but initially it was 16 hours.
16 hours.
Yes,
But
sir.
it changed.
It
or
changed
not?
after sometimes I was working well, and they also needed some more hours. So I asked that do you want me to move to 20 hours per week? They agreed.
Okay, and like the contract also changed in this
Yeah,
process?
then they gave me a new contract.
Okay, so you got the contract. Initially, it was 3 months,
Correct.
and then they extended it for how many
Yeah,
months?
for after that it was again 3 months. So eventually after every 3 months they renew the contract.
Okay, so this is the case, I think, with the job that you have.
Correct.
Now, coming to the salary part. So if you just give an idea, like, how much do they pay you? Like, in the very first video of this part-time jobs in Germany, you mentioned there is a minimum amount that one has to get per hour as a student, as a working student.
Correct.
But how much one can expect in the software engineering job, so that they get, the people who are watching also get an idea how much can they expect in Kaiserslautern? Although it depends on your job type
It
and other
depends on your
factors.
job type. Software job is not the minimum threshold. You
Okay.
get a little bit more.
Okay.
I would say one person that I know gets a salary of around 13.5.
Yeah.
One's getting 14 something. Another one is getting 16 or 16 point something
Okay.
after some promotion.
Yeah.
So I would say on an average you can assume 14 to 16 you can expect as per hour salary.
14 to 16 for the job.
Yeah, 14 to 16 euro per hour.
Yeah, and like, do you get this salary at the very end of the month, or any specific day, like 15th of some the
So
month?
for me it's the end of the month.
Okay, you get this salary at the very end of the month, and is it like your expense are managed through this?
Yeah, I would
job?
say my expenses are quite well managed.
Yeah.
Just like good enough.
Yeah.
I believe the block amount is for any student is currently 934 euro.
Yeah.
So if you are good with that,
Yeah.
Using this much amount, you will get around same amount for a software engineering job.
Got it.
So I think if you are good with block amount and you learn to live with that,
Yeah.
then for a software engineering job, you will be good enough as well.
Yeah, and I think we also talked about the expenses in Kaiserslautern. So I think your expenses can be,
easily
managed with the with this working student job.
Correct.
Now, one more point to mention here, Muntasir. Sometimes when suppose you get a job, right? So did you had to submit like as a formalities, like you got the job, you were accepted, but did you have to submit any specific documents for it?
No, there was the specific documents I remember.
Yeah.
So only I would say that that initially I had to give my CV and cover letter, and once they confirm me, I have to give other necessary documents. For example, the health insurance and matriculation and all.
Yeah, yeah.
No special other documents I remember.
But did they check the work permit as well? Do you have that or not?
No, there is no such requirement. This actually, as a working student, I am allowed. So it's common general scenario. There is no actually additional document required.
Okay, but you submitted your health insurance that you have that and your matriculation certificate in
Correct.
that case, because I think in some cases they ask you that are you allowed to work, and you have to attach that document as well, that you have a work permit or not.
Yes.
Or maybe you they ask this question as well,
Yes.
that are you able to work or not. So I think this is regarding the salary that you get, and how is the experience regarding this software job, if I say?
So I would say the experience is quite good.
Yeah.
My company is just kind of a startup company, so
Yeah.
there is the technology is quite good evolving.
And how
I
many
am-
people work?
Currently, there is six people in software development. There are other
Okay.
people in other department.
Yeah.
In total, 10 to 15, but
Yeah.
I would say 6 people around in software engineering. And
Yeah.
as I was saying, it's a startup, so there is the technology is quite good
Yeah.
evolving, and
Yeah.
I am learning a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. So
Yeah.
I think I'm quite happy with my current position.
Okay. So, and like, do you have to always go to the office? Like, one of the questions might arise.
No,
that-
it's actually in general the experience can vary. Mostly now companies are hybrid, so it's sometimes that for a full time as well.
Yeah.
There can be that 5 days for a 5 days job, you can go to 1 or 2 days in the office. So for me as well, we try to maintain that at least
Yeah.
once a week I visit the office.
Yeah.
Rest of them I do the remote job.
Okay.
And for my company, they are quite flexible.
Yeah.
I do usually do extra work before
Yeah.
my exam, so
Yeah.
that I don't do any office in between exams.
Okay.
After the exam, I ask them that okay, I am now allowed to work 40 hours per week. Can you extend my contract? They do that as well. So in the lecture free period, I also do 40 hours work. So that's actually quite good.
So I think this is also important. So what I understand from this is that suppose in a week, if you have an exam, you are not working, then other week you can work more than 20
More
hours.
than 20
but
hours.
your net has to be same.
Same net has to be same.
So I think this is also good flexibility that you got in the company, and I think it also depends on the company contract as well.
That's true. It actually depends to company
Yeah.
mostly,
Yeah.
and your boss as well.
Yeah, and how much work you have.
Yeah, how much worse you have.
So, but I think it's good that you have this flexibility. You have this working student job in the software engineering field, like you said, some of the technologies. And what would you recommend for people who are looking for this software job in Kaiserslautern, or you can say in Germany?
I would say the first thing or the most difficult thing I was stumbling upon is about the German language.
Okay.
Do that.
Yeah.
Prepare a good CV.
Yeah.
Prepare a good cover letter.
Yeah.
If possible, do that in German as well.
Yeah.
And then look for the job. Keep applying.
Yeah.
You may get initially a lot of rejection from LinkedIn
Yeah.
or Stone.
Yeah.
Don't bother with that, because you need to be succeeded only once.
Yeah.
So keep applying, keep looking for the jobs.
Yeah.
Even if you are not actively applying,
Yeah.
do check the jobs periodically. That sometimes helps.
Yeah, I think that's an important advice as well, because if you keep on trying, then you might find a job.
That's
And
true.
like
Even
the,
when you are not expecting.
yeah, and like he said, he got via company fair, and then you mailed, and then you searched.
Yeah, so do join the company fairs and all.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are helpful as well.
Yeah, we have made some videos about the company fair as well, so you can watch that, like how they are conducted, and you can talk to different company people and get their contact, and can mail your profile as well. And the like for getting this job, like the time period can vary, right?
That's true. Time period can vary. For some people it can be within 1 month. For
Yeah.
some people it can be 6 to 8 months as well.
Correct.
So it can vary.
And you can search in different fields as well. I think this is regarding your job
Software engineering
experience.
job, but it can have different field. Even if, for example, if you have some experience in other than Java, you have some Node.js experience, you have some C++ experience, you can also apply.
Okay, but you submitted all the documents in English.
That's true.
So I think for your case, English worked.
English worked. The
wo-
company language was English, so
Yeah.
for me it worked.
Yeah, so this can also happen. Like some companies ask for German language, like we saw in the company fair B2, C1 level, but some companies also.
Also allow English skill as well.
Yeah, and then I think regarding the flexibility of the job, you can talk once you are accepted. Then I think that is also manageable. And one of the last points, just I wanted to ask, how is the work culture in the
So,
company?
yeah, that's another nice thing about the culture.
Yeah.
This for my office is quite good culture, I would say.
Yeah.
There is nice environment.
Yeah.
My boss is quite nice.
Yeah.
I have good relationship with him.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go outing, we go to hiking,
Yeah.
we go to dinner as well.
Yeah.
So I would say there's like it's not just I'm working there kind of culture.
Yeah.
They sometimes share their personal issues as well, and we can discuss any topic. We can discuss outside of work.
Yeah.
So in our lunch break. So
Yeah.
I would say quite good feelings I have.
Yeah, like the bonding with your manager and with the people with whom you work. So I think that is also important if you are working in a company, in a startup, like you mentioned. And the recommendations I think that you gave are also quite important for applying, for working in a job. And one more last point is that suppose if someone who do not have much experience, some like you had some work experience before, but if someone who do not have this working experience before, or they are doing a job in a company for the very first time, then is it manageable for them, or they need to upskill?
Yeah, I would say it's still manageable.
Yeah.
I was after I joined there were a couple of other people as well.
Yeah.
They joined after that, and for a working student I would say the expectation is not the same as a full-time student,
Okay.
person or employee.
Yeah.
Because the company itself assumes that you
Yeah.
are a working student.
Yeah.
You will only give 20 hours, that is also with your exams,
Yeah.
your lecture and others.
Yeah.
So we might not get your full attentions.
Yeah.
So they don't give you that much pressure.
Okay.
For me, I had the same experience. I've heard for some people, I will not say it's all general, every company has the same scenario.
Yeah.
But for some cases, the company usually don't expect you that much.
Yeah.
So for a working student, it's quite manageable, I would say.
Okay. And like you submitted the documents, so did you had any kind of interview as well?
Yeah, there was two interview. The first one was with the HR
Yeah.
and with my boss as well.
Yeah.
Some technical experience, and then and the second day I came here to discuss more about the product, to discuss more about myself, to meet them personally, and then they offered me the job. But
Okay.
sometimes there is actually a coding
Okay.
test as well.
Okay, but for your case, there was no coding test.
There's
They
no
just
coding
got to know your
Yeah.
profile and.
They asked me some question that what did I do
Yeah,
so far.
yeah.
I have some experiences, so for what technology I work.
Yeah.
So they realized that I have some experience, so it's not
Okay.
mandatory to have coding experience.
Okay, so I think that is also important. We talked about how you applied and with various platforms, what is the salary one can expect, and it is manageable and you can upskill and I think learn through this job experience as well. And like you talked about the working environment, so you can talk. You have different excursions, so
Correct.
you sometimes have team meetings. Sometimes, like you, Munsir once told, he had one of the you came third in one of the games.
So there was prediction game, and
Yeah.
there was some like games inside our teams, or
Yeah.
the employees of our team, and
Yeah.
then if we participate and have good results, then
Yeah.
for example I got third and I will get some gift. I'm
Yeah.
not sure yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are some gifts as
Yeah.
games as well.
Yeah, so I think this is also important, and I think that's it. We talked about various points. Anything you want to add, Muntasir?
So no, I would say that's all the thing, and
Yeah.
I would say that for current scenario there are a lot of jobs. You
Yeah.
have to just look for them.
Yeah.
Usually for a software job, you will initially look in your own city. For
Yeah.
example, for us, Kaiserslautern,
Yeah.
you can look beyond as well. If there is
Yeah.
a remote job, you can apply for that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep applying. Hope for the best.
Yeah, and like through this vlog, we were also searching for the light, and we finally got a good light as well.
Good
So I
light,
think
that's
that's on a good note. We'll end this video now. Thank you, Muntasir, for sharing all these details, insights regarding your software job experience, and I think you also get some idea how you can find a software engineering related job in Germany, in Kaiserslautern. So it was Muntasir's specific experience, but I think some points are also important, which he mentioned. I think all of the points are kind of in some way important. So that's it for this vlog. Rest like, comment, share, subscribe. It doesn't take much time. Bye bye. Ciao ciao. Namaste. Chalo, see you in new day, new vlog. Also, you can go to different playlist and watch videos according to your interest, and you can go to part-time jobs in Germany playlist as well and watch the related videos as well whenever you get time. Bye bye.